Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Life with Frittles. Brennan here. This is my beautiful girlfriend Lacey. Say hi, Lacey.
Hi guys, we're going to talk a little bit about our long distance relationship, give you a little background, and tell you about our experience, and then give you a few tips if you are thinking about entering or having trouble with your current long distance relationship.
Long distance relationships.
Yeah.
Not as fun as
it seems.
Close distance relationships.
Okay, so...
we have some tips though, we have some good tips.
Okay, so just to start with a little bit of background, Brendan and I met while going to graduate school in California. We're both getting our MBAs. It's a 2-year program, so he was the year ahead of me. And so we were together.
Saw this beautiful girl in the lounge. I was like, who is that? I have to talk to her. She's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Actually, she walked up to me first.
That's another story.
That is another
why
story.
that happened.
She approached me.
I did. But yeah, so we dated in person for about 6 months, which seems really short. And we have been doing long distance for 9 months now.
Long time.
Yep.
It's like a deployment.
It is. Or a pregnancy.
Or a pregnancy.
Okay, so Brendan lives on the East Coast. I still live on the West Coast. And that's...
West Coast, best coast?
It is. And that's pretty much where we're at now.
It's just better surfing,
all the
really.
background I can think of.
Water's colder, though. A lot warmer water out here. Sorry, I'm done.
No, it's not.
It's a lot warmer water on the East Coast.
Really?
Google that. It's so much warmer.
Okay, cool. Okay.
It's warmer.
I believe you. Okay.
Something about the ocean currents.
Alright, so first question is, how often do we see each other?
How often do we see each other?
So...
Wait, how often do we see each other?
As of now, we see each other, I would say on average over the whole 9 months, it's been about once a month.
Sometimes we do quicker.
In the past few visits, it's been quicker than a month.
Yeah.
Just with scheduling, but in the beginning, we had a really long break apart in the summer.
We've also got the luxury of you still being in grad school. You've got a little bit of flexibility in your schedule. And if we were both full-time professionals, that would be a lot harder.
Yeah, maybe we should go into that. So I'm in grad school.
Yep.
I'm in my last year, so the schedule's really flexible, so I'm not in class even close to every day. And I have kind of the ability to skip classes.
Plus with coronavirus...
Corona is saving long distance, yeah. And so, long story short...
Silver lining of Corona.
Exactly.
Probably shouldn't joke around like that. There's people who died from that. But...
Yeah.
You know what I mean. It was... Carry on. Next.
Okay.
Next!
Okay, so...
Next!
So short story is about once a month. That's how often we see each other. It's varied, but overall, about once a month we try to. Okay, so before starting long distance, did we set any specific rules?
Rules. These are rules and you must follow them.
Okay, I'll start. So before starting, we didn't really know exactly what we were getting into. I had never successfully done a long distance relationship. I don't think he had either.
Not successfully. That's a different story.
Yes, it is. Okay, so in terms of rules, just how often we were going to talk or how often we'd like to talk, which has honestly changed and evolved over the course of our relationship. We talk a lot more than I think anticipated.
We first said let's talk like every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, which is just
we wanted some good substance for
honestly.
The conversation.
Yeah.
We didn't just want to be on the phone.
Yeah, we were like, oh yeah, we don't need to. We're independent.
How often in reality do we talk?
Yeah,
7 times a day.
Yeah.
8 times a day.
Like phone calls 7 times a day. It's not even including. Yeah.
Lacey, how are you doing? I miss you.
Yeah.
Bring your beautiful smile to me.
So no, we didn't really set any rules.
Make me banana bread. Best banana bread. So good.
But we did talk about how often we were going to communicate, and then other than that, just like generic rules of a relationship, like don't hook up with other people, obviously.
You don't hook up with other people.
Yeah, it wasn't going to fly in this relationship.
No.
All right, what has been the biggest unexpected challenge so far we faced? I think we can both agree that the time difference has been a big
Oh yeah, time
challenge.
difference from like Eastern Daylight Time to Pacific Coast Time. That's a really big factor because I get home from work, I'm done, home, worked out, showered, cooked, cleaned up, and it's already 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then there's just a short window there before I hit the bed, before it's, I'm out, I'm zonked, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Snoring, and then you might be in class, or you might be in school, which are the same thing. You might be with the big thing is the group work in MBA school. There's a lot of group
Yeah.
work in
So you can be at school but not be in class is I think what you were trying to say.
But you also work
And I work, and so yeah, it just depending on the day, it's been challenging at sometimes depending on how busy we are with.
And then when I wake up in the morning, it's really difficult to have a conversation with you because it's
It's early.
4:30
My
a.m.
time.
your
Yeah,
time.
exactly. So I'd say the distance has been the biggest unexpected challenge.
Time difference.
The time difference.
Mm-hmm. The distance is a challenge too.
The distance
from
is
the East
also
Coast
a
to the West
challenge.
Coast is
It's far. Yeah.
almost 3,000 miles, a long ways.
And then also, since on that note, I think we should just talk about plane tickets, and that's been a challenge in terms of
Plane tickets.
buying plane tickets and making sure we see each other often, because we did say that we like to see each other every month.
We do.
And plane tickets.
We're dropping $420, $430 a month.
Yeah.
For a round trip ticket from
It's a lot.
East Coast to the West Coast. It can get spendy. So.
Yeah. So that's been something that we've kind of just decided we were going to prioritize.
And that's just basic economy too. If you want to get
that gets me a middle
room.
I'm in the middle every time. Every time.
I feel so bad for you. She has to fly more often because I work full time. She's still in school.
Yeah.
So we fly Lacey out to see me, and then
Yeah.
I rarely fly back to see her, even though I like San Diego. But for my birthday coming up, I'll
So
fly
there's
back to
times
see
when he'll come to see me, but for the most part, I've come out here just because it's easier with schedules. But yeah, the cost of tickets has been a lot, and so it's
That's a dent in your paycheck.
Definitely something to think about for a long distance.
Especially when you're the one who buys them every time.
I don't think that we really thought about that.
It'd be nice to get some help.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm the one who's working full time, so I have no problem supporting my beautiful woman while she works through grad school.
Yeah. All right.
Go.
Moving
Lacey.
on. Okay. How do we feel about one another hanging out with the opposite sex?
Ooh, it's a good question. I have zero concern for you. That's because I know her pretty well by now. We've been together, a year and
3 months.
3 months or so-ish. So more than a year. And we spent 6 months of that, together every day.
Yeah. Which doesn't seem like a very long time, but...
But, you hang out with somebody for weeks and weeks and months, you get to know them.
I feel like in a normal relationship, when you start out dating, it's you see each other once a week or something like that. We were together every day. We were at school together, and we were at each other's houses every day.
Yeah.
And, when we
all the time.
Yeah, and then when we come out and visit each other, it's we're together every second, pretty much. So,
True.
So yeah, if he doesn't have a problem with me hanging out with the opposite sex, then it's, I don't know where I was going with that.
I think the key is to not have single one-on-one you and a member of the opposite sex at a dinner or something, or some kind of event or whatever. It helps if you can go with people, and it helps also if the people you're around and the people that you surround yourself with, if those individuals know that you're in a relationship, you bring up the relationship, you talk about it. That just kind of helps build I'm in a relationship, I want my partner to trust me, I want to trust my partner, and so that's one of the first things that will come up in a relationship when we talk with other people is
we don't go out of our way to hang out with others. I won't go out of my way to hang out with a guy, and I don't think he'll go out of his way to hang out with a girl, but there are certain circumstances with classmates or people, coworkers, that it just inevitably will happen. And so we just make sure that the people who we're going to be doing that with know we're in a relationship, so expectations are clear and there's no mishaps.
That's true. And I think our transparency is another big thing.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I'm going to go out to a work event or whatever, I text her. I think it helps a lot to like have my location, the little phone location thing. So if you know, like, where if I say I'm going to go to a certain location, you know, she's got the opportunity to, you know, kind of verify that or know that. At the end of the day, I think you shouldn't like rely on that, because if you're sitting there and you're like, well, I need to have this phone location of my partner, otherwise I don't feel like comfortable knowing that, you should maybe reassess your relationship to ensure there's a little bit of trust there. But just little things like having that available, knowing just the transparency, the ability to hit you, like when you text me, I'll hit you back pretty quick.
Yeah.
Let you know where I'm at, what's going on.
Responding to the other one, even if you're busy, just responding and saying, you know, I'm busy, I'll call you later or text you later, is very helpful when doing long distance. Again, just keeping that line of communication open.
Communication.
All the time. Because that's like, when you're together, it's like physical and like you get to talk all the time and see each other. And so there's those reassurances, but when you're long distance, it's all kind of just about how you communicate and, you know, let the other person know that you're available to them. And
there's times when you've been like, look, I really need to talk to you. Really have been missing you, blah, blah, blah. And then if you set up time to have a good FaceTime, that can help a lot. FaceTime is at thebomb.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
/amazing.
So, yeah, we'll talk about which ones helped us the most, I guess.
Yeah. What's the next tipperoonie?
Okay, so the last just question that I had was, which is kind of a broad question, is do we have an end goal?
We do have an end goal.
In sight.
About 3 months from now, when you graduate from MBA school.
Yeah, so when we initially went into it, we did know that the distance was only going to be a year, which for us I think was kind of our max in terms of, you know, what we were willing to do, because we could, you know, there was an end goal. We knew exactly how many times we were going to see each other pretty much until then, and what our plans were afterwards. So I think that, you know, we did have an end goal, but I think that an end goal just in general is super important to have.
So true.
Okay, so just kind of recapping what's helped us the most, just for general long distance tips, is like we talked about, constant communication.
Constant communication.
Whether that's text or calls or FaceTimes, whatever.
That doesn't mean like every hour, but like...
No, but...
through the day.
Yeah, just making sure
hey, sweet girl, I love you.
Yeah.
Thinking about your beautiful eyes and your wavy golden hair.
Yeah, just, I mean, at least making sure you're on the same page about how much you want to communicate.
And your banana bread that you make.
If you're the type of people that don't need to do that and can go a little bit longer without it, then totally fine. But for us, I think it's
Lacey is not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely more the one that needs the constant.
No, I think
how you doing?
I probably am.
Yeah.
It just depends on the time. We go back and forth. Like, if one person is more busy than, you know, or busier, the other person is, you know, a little more needy.
True.
And I think that that's totally fine. If you're close enough with your partner to just say, hey, I'm needy right now, I need your attention, then it's something that we'll say
need you.
every once in a while. So that really helps. Okay, so constant communication. The second one is planned visits.
Planned visits.
So making sure that, you know...
schedule them out.
Yeah, by the end of year, we actually do this probably even more in advance, but by the end of the visit you're currently in, just have your next one booked. Even if you don't book the flights right then, just at least the dates.
We book our flights like 3 months out, 4 months out.
Yeah, we usually do that because we kind of know with my schedule exactly when I'm going to be able to come, but that's different if both of you are working. It might not be that simple. So at least, you know, trying to get dates set up if you can't get flights, because it's just something to look forward to, and I don't know, mentally it just is very helpful, you know.
It is. For
a long distance. Last one that we talked about is having an end goal in sight.
Gotta have an end to the long distance relationship.
Yeah.
You get one walk through this life on Earth one time, and I'm not confident that spending it 2,700 miles away from your romantic partner is the ideal situation.
No, definitely not ideal.
I would say it is not. Suboptimal is the appropriate term.
And if, you know, it's the type of situation where you're both okay with being apart for, you know, 2 to 5 years or something, then that's totally fine. But, you know, I think having a definite end goal for us was super critical.
It was.
Even just before going into it, we were kind of unsure whether, we were going to do it, and having that end goal really kind of helped solidify.
If you have an end in sight and keep working towards something,
yeah,
and you can suck up the bad, suck the suck really a lot better.
Yeah.
Embrace the suck, as they say.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we would have a relationship if we didn't know that this was going to like end.
No.
Some kind of defined time.
No, if it was like we had no idea and we both.
What if we were gonna be long distance for like 5 years?
There's no way. I'm sorry.
I love you too.
I don't think you.
Thank
would
goodness
either.
we only have 3 months left.
I don't think you would either, though. Like
No,
that's just
there's no
crazy.
way.
We're.
It's tough.
Neither of us are like at the age where we're really, needing to. I don't know.
No, we're
needing to do that. Like, come on. I mean, I don't know.
Have an insight. Have it.
I don't want to say it's like a waste of time.
Have an end in sight.
If you believe like you found your person and that's, but I don't really think either of us are like, this is your person you were meant to be with and that's the only person you can be with. So you'll have to like go through whatever it takes to be together.
Yeah, I'm not a huge believer in there's a one person for you and once you find that person.
Then do whatever means necessary. So yeah, for us it was important that we had the end goal. And then I think just a final note is to remember that long distance is super hard, not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
If the person is worth it, you'll know, and you can kind of enter into one after discussing expectations.
You're worth it, baby.
Oh, thanks.
Just thought I'd let you know.
But yeah, it's hard. It's shitty. It's not easy. Maybe some people breeze through it. We certainly have not. But doing some of those things that we talked about are definitely very helpful if it's something that sort of has to be done.
I like it.
That's all I have to say.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you're in a long distance relationship, focus on the end. That's probably the number one tip.
Focus on the end.
Focus on the end. It's a bad time. It's just not fun. But when you're together, it's super fun.
Yeah, it's the best.
All right. Well, thanks again. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
Stay healthy. Corona.
Corona. Corona. That was good.
I love you.
I love you too.